the group number 4, and we want to talk about the strategies for building rapport with learners and creating a positive learning environment. Our group is made up by Aníbal Lopez, Juan Herrera, Catherine Lighton, and myself, Elkin Moreno, okay? So our topic, as I told you, is rapport. When we talk about rapport, it's a relationship between students and teachers. It's important to build respect and trust between us. Okay, well, so I'm going to give the word now to Catherine.
Okay, good evening, everyone. How we know, several authors and experts have explored the concept of building rapport in various contexts. It's not a new concept, but it's been developed, in different contexts, in business, in sales, in personal relationships, and obviously, and of course, in educational as well. As Elkin says before, building rapport in educational is essential for creating a positive and effective learning environment. It involves like establishing trust, mutual respect, and supported relationship, but not only between instructors and apprentices, but also among apprentices themselves and between instructors themselves too. As you can say in our presentation, we mentioned some strategies to build that building rapport. Oh, what is important in order to create a good building rapport? Active listening, like maybe it sounds simple or essential, but nodding, making eye contact, or providing feedback to show engagement, and also our body language is really important. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is empathy and understanding. Empathy involves, active listening, recognizing emotion, and responding appropriately to those emotions, the emotions to our apprentices show to us. In the case of our Sena contest, finding like another thing to highlight is finding common ground. Identifying and discussing interests and experiences in order to create that connection, but like real experiences also. And because we know our apprentices are not just one, they become from different backgrounds and different cultures. We have deaf apprentices, we have indigenous apprentices, we have uh, apprentices from different backgrounds, social status, and everything. So building rapport also involves demonstrating respect and showing appreciation, for our apprentices' culture, but also their families and where they become. Um, Also, adapt our teaching styles. Maybe connect our lessons to real life examples and experiences is relevant in the Colombian and SENA context. Be aware of the diversity of our apprentices. Learning styles is really important. Like you can say, or that is evident, develop a positive classroom environment is essential in this strategy. If our apprentices are using formal language, be formal. If they are being casual, well, match that tone. Is simple. Just encourage, respect, and support the ideas and the opinions of the apprentices. But like I said before, it's not only apprentices, instructor is also apprentices, instructors. In our contest, we have to adapt and collaborate with other instructors. It's not the same teach English in cooking context that in, I don't know, welding context. So we have to collaborate and work with other instructors as well. Like you can say, positive communication, using friendly, supportive, encouraging language helps to create a positive atmosphere. Just now for closure, already my closure. By implementing these strategies, instructors can create a supportive and engaging learning environment with apprentices, where they can feel valued and motivated. So That's what I think. Thank you. Next.
Okay, Juan.
Okay, now let's talk about learning anxiety. There are two research papers that help us understand this phenomenon in class. So we can, for example, in one of the documents developed in Thailand with the students, apprentices of English there's a set of questions that we can use for evaluating or for assessing the anxiety that our learners have to when they are to speak in English. They're going to speak in English. So first of all, we know that speaking in public, even in our own language, can cause a little anxiety. So in this case, as we are with apprentices who are studying English, we need to implement some strategies to help them overcome this problem. One of these is to let them have gradual exposure to the class, and we can give them supportive feedback. So they can analyze and understand some things that could help them improve their performance later. And another thing is to create a non-judgmental space for learning the language. Okay, another thing that we can examine is the language anxiety. When we're going to learn a language, it can create some difficulties for the performance and the apprentices as well. One of them is that the person can be confident or not confident, and the other aspect is the motivation. These two aspects are very interesting because if we analyze the apprentice's motivation and the apprentice's confidence or self-confidence, we can try to help them in a better way. Because for example, if a person has a higher motivation, it can help them overcome their lack of confidence. And the other way, if the person has a low motivation, their confidence mostly or most of the cases will be lower as well, can be lower. So that's very interesting to analyze. So we can anyway, if we help them if we encourage them to learn, and we celebrate their successes, maybe we can help them to overcome this anxiety. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, so now it's just a closure for this part, is that for reducing anxiety and for creating a positive environment, we should take into consideration two strategies. One is to create low stress opportunities for practice. It means having a gradual exposure to tasks or to appearances in public, and to have practices in small groups. And the other the other strategy is to encourage autonomy and self-determination. We have to consider that if they have low motivation, we should help them to increase their motivation, and at the same time, we should let the apprentices to establish or to set their own goals and to analyze how they are reaching those goals. Okay, that's it.
Thanks. Aníbal, ready?
Ready, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some practical activities that are very useful to build rapport. Okay, so building rapport requires activity that foster connection, trust, and respect between teachers and students. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about certain activities that we can incorporate into our classes. Next, please. Okay, so there are, let's say, 7 categories. Number one, we can use icebreakers and introduction activities. For example, the web. In this activity, students sit in a circle, and one student throws a ball of yarn to another student after saying their name and something interesting about themselves. Uh, the person who catches the ball does the same and continues passing the ball until they have created a web. Okay. In conclusion, by sharing something personal in a group setting, students begin to know each other and facilitate the building of trust and mutual understanding. Mm, Another category, team building games. Okay, let's talk about paper towers. This is an activity we can incorporate as a team building game. For this activity, students must work in groups and build a tower, the tallest tower possible, using paper and tape. Okay, so in this activity, this activity can help the students promote collaboration and communication. So we can say that working in groups to achieve a common goal fosters collaboration and communications, two key elements for establishing trust and mutual respect. And the next category, discussion circles. Okay, let's talk about dialogue circles. In these activities, students sit in a circle and discuss a topic or reflect on a specific subject. Uh, these type of activities ensure that all students feel included and heard, reinforces an atmosphere of respect and trust within the group. Next, please. Okay, next category, we have group reflections. For example, this activity called shared journals, where students keep a journal about what they have learned or their thoughts or emotions regarding the class and share it voluntarily. Okay, so through this activity, students can share thoughts and emotions in a safe environment, which fosters empathy and mutual understanding. Okay, and now we have another category called creative and collaborative activities. For example, group projects where students collaborate. It can be on a mural, a college, or any creative activity so related to the content of a course, allowing them to express themselves and work together. This kind of activities allow students to express themselves and collaborate, strengthening personal connections and teamwork. Teamwork. Okay, next, our sixth category is called anonymous surveys and feedback. For example, class climate surveys. It's really important to regularly ask students to fill out anonymous surveys about their feelings in class or about what they have or about what they think they have to improve or what they think they could improve. And receiving anonymous feedback allows students to express their feelings and concerns, demonstrating that the teacher cares about their well-being, besides strengthening trust and respect. And finally, our seventh category, celebrating achievements. For example, recognitions of efforts. It's really important to take a moment to publicly acknowledge students' achievements and efforts, not just in the academic field, but also in participation, improvement, or collaborations. Publicly acknowledging students' achievements and efforts boosts their self-esteem and motivates them, which strengthens their relationship with the teacher and each other. Okay, so in conclusion, each of these activities not only facilitate learning, but also helps create an environment where students feel valued, respected, and connected, which is really essential for developing a strong rapport. Thank you.
Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say that building this rapport is important, it's really important, it's crucial for effective learning. We don't have a good rapport and a positive environment, learning is not going to be easy, it's going to be difficult. Also, if we check that anxiety is one of the problems for building like a confidence, we have to attack it. So we have seen some strategies, some things that we can do in order to improve, because that is key to the student success. And as a final thought of all the course, a supportive teacher-student relationship is at the heart of a thriving classroom. Okay, so thanks a lot.
Se imprime, ok. Yo estaba un poco preocupado por el tema del tiempo, que